The morning of December 1st, 1948, dawned like any other on Summerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The sun rose slowly, casting a golden hue over the tranquil waters and the soft, sandy shore. It was a scene of serene beauty, a perfect start to what seemed like an ordinary day. People strolled along the sandy shore, enjoying the sun and the sea. Families played, children laughed, and couples walked hand in hand, savoring the peaceful morning. The beach was alive with the simple joys of life. But that tranquility was shattered by a chilling discovery. A group of beachgoers stumbled upon something that would forever change the course of their day, and indeed the course of history. A man lay lifeless on the sand. His body was positioned as if he had simply fallen asleep, but there was an eerie stillness to him that suggested otherwise. He was well dressed, wearing a suit and tie, but his pockets held no identification, no wallet, no papers, nothing to hint at who he was or why he was there. The mystery of the Summerton Man, as he came to be known, had begun. The police were called, and they arrived quickly, their faces etched with concern and curiosity. Police arrived at the scene, immediately sensing something was amiss. The man's appearance, his lack of identification, and the circumstances surrounding his death all pointed to something unusual. The man's appearance, his lack of identification, and the circumstances surrounding his death all pointed to something unusual. He seemed out of place, a mystery wrapped in an enigma. The investigation began. But from the very start, it was clear this would be no ordinary case. The detectives combed the area for clues, but the more they searched, the more questions they uncovered. Who was this man? And what brought him to his demise on a peaceful beach? The questions swirled in the minds of the investigators, each one more perplexing than the last. These questions would haunt investigators for decades to come. The case of the Summerton Man would become one of Australia's most enduring mysteries, a puzzle that seemed to defy all attempts at resolution. The body was taken to a nearby hospital for examination. The pathologists worked meticulously, hoping to uncover some clue that would shed light on the man's identity and cause of death. The autopsy revealed a physically fit man in his 40s, with no obvious signs of foul play. His organs were in good condition, and there were no external injuries to suggest a violent end. However, the cause of death remained elusive. The pathologist noted some unusual findings, including internal organ congestion and a possible poisoning, but nothing conclusive. It was as if the man had simply ceased to live, without any clear reason why. The pathologist noted some unusual findings, including internal organ congestion and a possible poisoning, but nothing conclusive. The lack of a clear cause of death only deepened the puzzle. The investigators were left with more questions than answers, and the mystery of the Summerton Man grew ever more complex. Who was this unknown man, and what secrets did he carry to his grave? The enigma of the Summerton Man would continue to baffle and intrigue, a riddle that seemed destined to remain unsolved. The police launched a full-scale investigation, hoping to uncover the Summerton Man's identity and the circumstances surrounding his death. They fingerprinted him, circulated his photo, and even created a death mask, hoping someone would recognize him. The death mask was a painstaking process, capturing every detail of the man's face in the hope that it might jog someone's memory. Despite their efforts, the man remained an enigma. The police were left scratching their heads, unable to piece together the puzzle that was the Summerton Man. No missing person reports matched his description, and no one came forward to claim him. The lack of any identifying information was baffling, and the case grew colder with each passing day. The trail ran cold. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months, but the case remained unsolved. The police were relentless, but their determination seemed to be met with nothing but dead ends. The community watched with bated breath, hoping for a breakthrough that never came. The police pursued every lead, no matter how insignificant it seemed. They combed through records, interviewed countless individuals, and followed up on every tip. But each lead seemed to evaporate into thin air. They checked hotels, boarding houses, and transportation records, hoping to find a trace of the unknown man. They even looked into the possibility that he might have been a foreigner. But this too led nowhere. Each dead end only added to the frustration of the investigators. The case was becoming a source of obsession for some, who were determined to solve the mystery no matter the cost. Who was this man who seemed to have vanished without a trace? The question haunted the detectives, who were now more determined than ever to uncover the truth. In a breakthrough, police discovered a suitcase they believed belonged to the Summerton Man. It was found in a locker at the Adelaide railway station. The discovery of the suitcase brought a renewed sense of hope to the investigation. Inside, they found clothes with the labels removed, further hindering identification efforts. The meticulous removal of labels suggested a deliberate attempt to conceal the man's identity. However, one clue stood out. a name tag with the name T. Keen sewn onto a garment. This small piece of evidence was a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak investigation. Could this be the break they had been waiting for? Excitement filled the investigation as police tracked down every T. Keen in the country. The detectives worked tirelessly, hoping that this name would finally lead them to the identity of the Summerton Man. But their hopes were soon dashed. Despite their best efforts, the name T. Keen led to another dead end. None of the individuals matched the Summerton Man's description, and the name T. Keen proved to be another dead end. The sense of disappointment was palpable, but the detectives refused to give up. The mystery continued, leaving investigators baffled and the public captivated by the enigma of the Summerton Man. The case remains one of the most intriguing unsolved mysteries, a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown. Months after the initial discovery, the case of the Summerton Man took an unexpected turn. A tiny piece of paper with the words Tamam Shud printed on it was found sewn into the Summerton Man's trouser pocket. This discovery was both bizarre and intriguing, raising more questions than it answered. The phrase meaning finished or ended in Persian was a curious clue. It came from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of Persian poetry that was popular in the early 20th century. The Rubaiyat is known for its themes of fate and the fleeting nature of life, adding a poetic layer to the mystery. The discovery of this note added a new layer of intrigue to the already perplexing case. Could this be a cryptic message from the man's past? The police launched a public appeal to find the copy of the Rubaiyat from which the note originated. They hoped it would provide more clues. A man came forward claiming he found the book discarded in his car shortly after the Summerton Man's body was discovered. This was a significant breakthrough. On the back of the book, written in faint pencil, was a series of seemingly random letters. It appeared to be a code. Hope soared that this code held the key to unlocking the Summerton Man's identity and the mystery surrounding his death. Cryptographers and codebreakers from various government agencies were brought in to decipher the message. They analyzed the code, looking for patterns and trying different decoding techniques. Despite their best efforts, the code remained unbreakable. The message, like the man himself, remained an enigma. The discovery of the Tamam Shud note and the coded message in the Rubaiyat fueled speculation that the Summerton Man might have been involved in espionage. The Cold War was at its peak, and Australia was a hotbed of international intrigue. Was the Summerton Man a spy who met a tragic end? Or was there a more mundane explanation for the seemingly coded message? The possibilities were endless, and the lack of answers only deepened the mystery. Some theorized that the Summerton Man was a jilted lover, and the note was a final farewell. Others believed he was a criminal on the run, using the code to communicate with his associates. The Cold War context added a layer of paranoia and suspicion to the case. Espionage was a real and present danger, and the idea of a spy meeting a mysterious end was not far-fetched. The Summerton Man's well-dressed appearance and the lack of identification only added to the speculation. Who was this man, and why did he die under such mysterious circumstances? The case remains one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. Despite numerous theories and extensive investigations, the true identity of the Summerton Man and the meaning of the Tamam Shud note remain unsolved. The possibilities were endless, and the lack of answers only deepened the mystery. The Summerton Man's story continues to captivate and baffle, a testament to the enduring allure of an unsolved mystery.